So continue. When the teacher enters the house of study, a question should not be posed to him until he gathers his powers of concentration. Thus, a student should not ask him until he sits and rests. Two students should not ask at once. A teacher should not be asked about an extraneous matter, but rather only regarding the subject which they are involved with, lest he become embarrassed. The teacher may deliberately lead the students astray with the questions and the deeds he carries out in their presence to sharpen their power of concentration and to test whether they remember that he taught them or not. Needless to say, he may ask them regarding another matter which they are not presently involved with, to spur them on. Okay, so it's very interesting. So what can teacher do and what students can do? It's very interesting. So let's do from the beginning with commentaries and explanations. It's Halachah number 6. When a teacher enters the house of study, questions should not be posed to him until he gathers his power of concentration. Number 50, lest he be probed into responding hastily without thinking out of the matter in its entirety. Okay, so he just came from wherever he was, right? And now they start asking me questions. He's not ready. His mind is somewhere else, especially in the olden days. So it was dangerous on the streets. And, wild animals, there were no paved road, no cars, so people would walk or ride a donkey or a horse and stuff like that. So it was, they have to watch for bandits, this and that. So many things like on this teacher's mind. And now he came and they started attacking him. So let him sit down, let him compose himself, and then you ask him, right? Thus, the student should not ask him until he sits and rests. But today, okay, so usually, like all the teachers need some time. So teacher would usually come a little early, so prepare himself, whatever, like he needs 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, whatever, like, so he's ready. So basically in our days. So whenever the class starts, you can ask the question, most likely that the teacher would be ready, most likely. So he did not just come in from traveling outside. But if he did, so just give him a few minutes. Okay, so continue. 2 should not ask at once. Commentary. First, this is proper manner. Second, it is impossible to hear 2 people simultaneously. And it's a general rule in Halachah. For example, when we read in Megillah, I don't know the first example in my mind. So that when we read in Megillah, so it says on one hand, it says that everybody like should read to themselves, but not too loud, right? Not too loud. So because why I'm sitting here, I'm trying to listen to Balkor reading the Megillah, and this guy reads out loud. I cannot read. I cannot hear 2 voices at once, right? So and plus, as Rambam said, it's and not Rambam. But commentary said it's manners. Okay. Rambam is just to the point. Don't do this. A teacher should not be asked about extraneous matters, like something like about angels, right? We're learning about, kosher food, and he is asking about angels. And what is Noach's wife name was? Okay, so what is the connection with a chicken is kosher or not? What is the connection? Right. So continue. A teacher should not be asked about extraneous matter, but rather only regarding the subject which they are involved with, lest he become embarrassed. So in this case, maybe the way I understand this line, maybe he prepared only this class. Okay, so to become a teacher, you don't have to be an expert in all the halachas, right? So our sages say, if you know Aleph, you can teach Aleph. If you know base, you teach base. You know 3 letters, so you teach 3 letters. You're not you're not claiming to be expert in the Talmud, right? But other people do not know even 3 letters, so you can teach them, right? But if you start asking him about what Rashi said, for Rashi, for him, it's like totally different level, right? So it would embarrass him. Okay, but other people, like, most of the time, if it's not like technical question about the Talmud, what it says, what it did not say, or some specific halachas over the intricate details of some halachas. So if it's general question, I think there is no problem to ask. Okay. 52 commentary. Because he did not know the answer and give an incorrect reply. So that's a very, very scary thing. So some people need to give a reply, no matter what, right? So if they don't give a reply, so even the stupid reply, well, some people. So I would tell people. So why saying that? It does not sound good. You have an explanation for that? And many times they would say, no, I actually do not know. I have to check. But why are you saying like in the first place? Just say I do not know. There is no problem saying I do not know, like, right? But the teacher would be embarrassed and he would give any reply, even the wrong one. You understand? So that's scary. So it says because he did not know the answer and gave an incorrect reply. In Shabbos 3b relates that Rabbi Hia gave Rav this advice after he asked question Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi concerning unclear and unrelated matter. Okay, so he said, don't do it. Okay. The teacher may deliberately lead the students to astray with his questions. 50. So meaning what? To wake people up. Sometimes people fall asleep or they lose their concentration. So you try to lead them astray. Even though yesterday we said the chicken is kosher, so now today say the chicken is not kosher. Say, what do you mean? Now they're paying attention. So and you can develop. Okay. So commentary. Ask him about matters which are unrelated, or he would ask questions, and see whether the students can follow the line of thought. So Brachas 43b relates that Rabbi made a certain statements that ran contrary to the sage's teaching about the mitzvah of sending away the mother bird. The Talmud explained that he did this in order to check the student's knowledge. Okay. Continue. Erwin 13a relates Rabbi Akiva also made statement with similar intent. So just try to see if the students actually paying attention and if they remember what we said yesterday, right? Okay. So one more time the whole sentence. The teacher may deliberately lead the students astray with his questions and the deeds he carries out in their presence to sharpen the power of the concentration. Their presence. For example, Holy Torah 43b relates that Rabbi inspected an animal to see whether it was kosher or not in a manner which contradicts his own teaching. Here too it is explained that intention was to test the students. So if last Sunday or Monday we learned this way, and now this Wednesday we learn like differently. So why don't you ask the question? So last time you said that you understand. So now I'm telling you opposite what I said last time, and you said you understand. Well, why are you quiet? Right? That's the test. And to test whether they remember what was taught them or not. Okay. Needless to say, he asked them regarding another matter, which they are not presently involved with, to spur on them. 55. Baba Metzia 97a relates that a teacher has a right to change the subject matter which the students are studying. However, it does not provide the explanation to given by the Rambam. Okay. So Rambam just do his own explanation. to pique their curiosity, and simultaneously they desire to learn. Okay, so I mean they're learning anyway. So my personal explanation, right? So that subject is a new material, and this subject is a new material. Okay, it's all of this a new material. So maybe it's not such a big deal. I mean, they're not expected to know this or that. You understand? So totally normal. We finish this Halachah number 6. Any questions? Okay, no problem. So we continue.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. Please, go ahead.
You said a couple times, even if the teacher strays them aside or gives wrong answers, what does one do when that happens, or what should one do when that happens?
If teacher has gives you a wrong answer, so
Yes.
first of all, that's amazing question. So first of all, even if you're not sure, so maybe like let's give this situation example that you're sure that that's not what you learned. You learned it yesterday from the book, and it was very clear. And Rabbi, what you learned, with whom you learned, he confirmed. You ask 7 times, he answered you 7 times. You know clearly, and now you ask another person, another teacher, and he gives you totally different answer. So first of all, you have to respectfully, and that's what we do, right? So that's when somebody like I stopped doing it, but like until just recently, somebody will send me a video and ask if it's kosher. I don't know, like I say it's not, right? But I say ask that person respectfully, whatever the speaker respectfully. Why did he say so? I mean, what is his source? Maybe that's not what he meant. I'm not going to watch the whole video. So somebody give me like on 15 minutes, 30 seconds. So I would watch 2 minutes, but maybe it's out of context. I mean, right? So I ask that person, ask him, I ask the person, but respectfully. Don't say it is wrong. So ask him, Kvod Rav, you said this and that. Please teach me why you said that, because I learned a little different or very different from another place. You understand? So maybe an answer that he's going to give you, maybe what you learned, you misunderstood. How do you know? How do you know that you're right? So it's always like what we do. We politely ask people to explain themselves what they meant. And sometimes it was at least maybe 2 times in my life when I talk to a person, to somebody, doesn't matter who, and that person he said, yeah, I misspoke in that video, in that class, I actually misspoke. Yeah, right. He acknowledged it, and he said that somebody was already pointed out you're number 7. Okay, I didn't know about the first 6. Okay, I'm not trying to embarrass somebody, but I was just confused. So always ask politely why that person said so, why teacher said so, and that's it. So, but for a teacher, I mean, teacher is not obligated to give you all of the answers right away. Sometimes we must look up things. I mean, I don't remember all of the halachas from the top of my head. Some of them are simple, right? But some of them not simple. Some of them require deeper research, and some of them they above my head, right? So I have to ask somebody above me. You understand? Because it's very, very serious things, and I don't want to. I'm not on the level to take responsibility for such matters upon myself. You understand? So just because the teacher does not know answer, it means exactly nothing. I mean, simple answer, of course, but some deeper, some personal, when you give details and stuff like that. So it might require time. So he might not know answer. But some people they shoot from the hip, right? Whatever you ask, they give you answer like this. Yeah, understand? That's the problem. Like I don't know, I told say it or not. So when I used to work in the office. So these crazy younger guys and girls, so they had this rule. I mean, I don't know, it's from bar, from I don't know from where, right? They have a 2 seconds rule, right? That's what they said, 2 seconds. So if one person insults somebody else, so that somebody else have 2 seconds to respond. If they do not respond in 2 seconds, even his response in 3.5 seconds, and it's very funny, so it's not allowed to laugh. So somebody will say, no, you're not allowed to laugh. You understand? So that's a crazy world. But in our world, I mean, if you do not know, don't say, I do not know. Let me look into it. You understand? So it's a person who deliberately say wrong answer because he does not want to be embarrassed. That's the problem with that person. Did we answer the question or no? Or you meant something else?
No, yes, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.